Volcano Cave Cruisin, one of the most infamous but also the most famous sub-areas in this game. Infamous because if you fail, loses a lot of time, and you just have to restart from the beginning until you get it. Famous because it's got some of the coolest movement you're going to see in this game. I am a big fan of this sub-area and wanted to make this tutorial for a while, and somebody just had the wonderful suggestion to remind me of it today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm BP31. I'm the current All Moons world record holder, and today I want to walk through a lot of common sticking points in this sub area, just walk through how you're supposed to do it optimally, how you're supposed to do it to go even faster than the typical way that people do it, and cover some ways to back up if you mess up, and cover some ways to get past points that people tend to struggle with a lot. So first things first, I'm going to try to do a good execution of this sub area to start off. This is how I would do it in a run. That's the crux of the trick. The rest is a little bit weird, but not particularly difficult. Alright, and there it is. So that's the whole sub area. It's pretty tricky to do, but very, very cool damage boost that we get there, and up throw dive in the middle. I'll walk you through all that stuff in due time. The one thing I want to note before really getting into that stuff, though, is this in Darker Side is often not worth going for. There is a far easier sub area to do optimally in Wooded Kingdom called Invisible Road, I believe. I would recommend doing that instead. I would highly recommend it, in fact. The timing information for both of those two in BTT, and this is a little bit outdated, so I'm pretty sure that Invisible Road has even gotten faster since then, but this sub area is 37.2 seconds out of the way. Invisible Road is 39.6 seconds out of the way. That means if you are doing this sub area 2.5 seconds too slow, you are not saving time. You are not saving time. Please keep this in mind. I see a lot of people do slower strats for the sub area. Even what I did right there, I think it might be worth doing Invisible Road instead. So be very sure that what you're doing is fast enough when you decide to do this sub area in a Darker Side run. But if you're doing All Moons, 100% another category with this, this is a good tutorial for you. So let's start off from the beginning, the start. This is the start I did in the video. So the reason I choose to do this start is it gives you a nice little angle to go quickly underneath the ledge here. So if I respawn in the sub area, I'm gonna quickly pause. You see I go like right nicely between the blue grate right here, and then I have a good bit of speed to get right under this ledge if I unpause here. So that's the movement I choose to do. There's a couple alternatives. The most common RTA alternative is this one. Oh, whoopsies, I messed up. So that works as well. The problem is when you do this roll boost, you need to pull back a lot. So you'll see right now, Mario's kind of stuck right here, turning around, trying to get under this ledge here. That's a little bit awkward and makes the dive onto this platform over here a little bit slower. So I recommend doing the dive double jump version that I just mentioned. The one faster strat that I have not gotten a BTT segment with, but is faster, is this. Cappy comes back to you a little bit quicker, and you can get a triple throw dive onto this. That is a little bit of an overcook, but the reason this is good is because it gives you a lot more speed when you go under that ledge, and you're able to maintain that speed over there. So it merges the good part of the roll, where you get the speed from the roll and a lot more speed going into the rest of the trick, and the good part of the double jump, where, excuse me, I had to swallow there, but the good part of the double jump where you get under the ledge with good timing. So I would personally recommend doing this. And then after that, if you're looking to save a little bit of time, this is a good alternative as well. So, next important part of the trick. I'm going to stick to doing this for the rest of the tutorial. Next important part of the trick is this. So, I've just bounced off Cappy. First thing to note, don't be too close to this lava area right here. If you're too close to this lava area right here, there's a chance Mario clips the side of it, gets a sideways bounce off the lava, burns, takes damage. Not a fun time. You can't really recover that. You just die and have to restart from the beginning. Next, so I try to aim a little bit more to the left. Why'd I say left? To the bottom side of this sub area when I'm doing this trick. So then I cap bounce off Cappy. I go towards these clouds. The important thing to note about this cloud is you don't want to throw Cappy too early. So right now, Mario is bouncing off Cappy. He's arcing up in this direction. If I throw Cappy at the peak of Mario's height, there's a chance that you'll get lucky and Cappy will home in on this cloud here. However, there is a larger chance that Cappy will home in on these question mark blocks. Cappy in this game is programmed to prioritize homing in on coins, so if he has an opportunity to grab coins in a question mark block, he's often going to do that. You can save this if this happens by diving onto this section of the lava here, landing on these question mark blocks, and then throwing Cappy to activate this cloud anyway. The other bad thing about throwing Cappy too early when Mario's right here is you can trigger the second cloud that you cannot see the arrow pointing to because it's pointing the wrong direction. But if he triggers a second cloud, the rest of the movement in the sub area is all skewed because you don't have a good angle for when you long jump. So the solution to this, wait to throw Cappy until you're a little bit past the peak of Mario's height. You can throw Cappy directly into this question mark cloud, and you don't have to worry about homing him in on these question mark blocks or the second cloud. So throw Cappy late when you're over here. If you throw Cappy too late, it is possible that you'll activate this cloud. That is a little bit of time loss, but it's not the end of the world. Two things could happen if you land on this cloud. If you land on this cloud, you can either continue walking if you don't recognize it in time, land on this, then you take one hit of damage. You can land on these question mark blocks or on this cloud because you just activated it to save yourself, then activate this question mark cloud, and then you're good to go, continue with the rest of the room. The rest of the room only takes 1 damage, so as long as you're at 2 HP at this point, it's okay. If you're at 1 HP at this point, there is a heart inside of these blocks. So activate this cloud, grab the heart, and you're on your merry way with the rest of the sub area. Very, very convenient to back up. Okay, I've explained all that. I know it's hard to know without all the rest. I'll do my best to replicate these mistakes now. So that's a success. Okay, it worked there. I tried to cap bounce too early there, but it worked. So that's not something that's honestly super common to happen, but it's good to be aware of it being a possibility. Okay, yeah, I don't even know. Why can't I get this to happen? This honestly might be a benefit of doing this double jump method at the start. You might just not have enough speed to activate these next ones, but be aware that it can happen. So there I dive too late, and I activate this cloud now, and I'm at 2 HP on top of this cloud. All is okay. So, moral of the story, start off with those two, with the dive double jump method, and try to activate the middlemost cloud only. Okay, next part of the sub area. Okay, so we're standing on this platform here. Our goal is we want to long jump off around the edge of this platform, not the very edge, but close to the edge. We want to long jump underneath this wall, up throw, then delay the dive. You need to delay the dive. If you don't delay the dive, you're going to burn your head when you dive on this top lava area right here. No bueno. Delay the dive, get an up throw bounce onto Cappy here. Then that'll put Mario right around here, and you're able to do the rest of the sub area. So this part, there's not really an alternative to. If you mess it up, you're just dead. So get good at this part. This is how it should look. Just like that. Okay. We'll do that one more time. Okay. That's how that part should look. And then you can see I'm already starting to do the next part that I'm going to talk about. Can I talk about it here? Honestly, yeah, let's talk about it here. Okay. So, next part. Important to note that this is a spot of the wall with limited space. So far, we have done an up throw dive onto Cappy here, and we're in this area with Mario. So, you need to throw Cappy such that he doesn't run into this lava wall here, and that you can do a lava bounce in this area on top of Cappy. If you throw Cappy upwards and then lava bounce directly into Cappy, you'll either not bounce off of Cappy because of the way the game's mechanics work, or you will not bounce high enough off of Cappy to get a proper bounce. I'll try to demonstrate that now. See, I'm too low and I take damage and die. So that's what happens if you throw Cappy and then stay directly under him when you try to do this trick. Okay, so I'm here. Now, there's a few ways to make sure you aim the up throw in the right spot. What I do is actually not exactly what I recommend, and I'll try to switch to what I recommend in a second. But I up throw just like this. So I'm a little bit of a ways away from the wall, and I can stop my momentum, bounce off the lava right about here, have a trajectory that goes upward and onto Cappy, and then wall jump up here. Boom. Nice and easy. What I would actually recommend, I would recommend being a little bit further into the wall with Mario than up throwing inwards facing the camera. That way, when you up throw, you have more space to work with moving Mario, and then you can throw Cappy into the wall before wall bouncing. So I'll show both methods. I'll show the method that I do that also works. It might be more comfortable for you. And then I'll show you the method that's a little bit more lenient and that I would recommend. Let's see if I can salvage this after the pause buffer. Okay, I cannot. I'm not even going to try. All right, method one. This is the one that I tend to do. I lied. This is the one that I prefer. Okay, so I was really scuffed, but I threw Cappy into the wall and bounced off him that way. It's hard to do this tutorial because I'm thinking about different things at the same time. Okay, I'll do it the other way now. Okay, throw Cappy into the wall, and boom, we're all good. Okay, so moral of the story, though, is when you're here, make sure you give yourself enough space to bounce on top of Cappy. This part can take a little bit of practice because you need to think about how Mario is moving after taking damage on the lava, and that's a little bit unintuitive. But another thing to keep in mind is, actually, you know what? Let me just die and quickly show this off. Mario has a lot of different momenta when he takes damage in the lava. So first things first, I'm going to take damage while moving. So dive, you take damage, and you just sort of move all over the place. So that's not ideal for this trick because you want to be very, very controlled with where Mario is going whenever you take damage. So the alternative is hold neutral before taking damage. That completely halts all of your momentum, no matter how fast you're going, and I'll demonstrate that in just a second. And it gives you control over where you go with Mario after taking damage. So here, I'm going to dive into the lava. Moving, completely stopped. If I just go neutral before taking damage, all is right with the world. So I'm going to do this whole thing one more time. Under the level. And I messed up. So that's another negative side of the way I do my strategy. I threw Cappy too early into the lava there. Cappy got eaten. I can no longer do the strat. I messed up there, but it's okay because I'm still at 2 HP. Throw Cappy away from the wall. Can bounce on him. And I went neutral. That way I had a lot of control over where Mario goes before bouncing off of Cappy. Boom. Nice and easy. So there's one more part of this trick, and one more important part of this trick, and that's where you wall jump. Could have saved that. But that's what happens when you dive too early, or have too much speed going into the wall. Okay, so Your aim is to wall jump where Mario is right now. So where Mario is right now, you have enough space to throw Cappy into this question mark cloud than to dive on top of it. So it's really bad if you're further in on the wall when doing this, because then you're directly under the question mark cloud. And if you try diving directly onto it, you're either going to bonk on the side of it. That's really bad because then you die, or you'll have to bonk on top of it. That is an acceptable save because that means you will land on top of it, because the underside of these question mark clouds are, you can go through them. So when you go through the cloud, you'll basically just teleport and the bonk gives you extra height on the wall and you'll live, but you'll still lose time. And at that point, you are better off having done Invisible Road in Darker Side. So just for some reference. Okay. So I'm going to unpause and then I'm going to throw Cappy and activate this question mark cloud. And then I'm going to wall kick and dive on top of it. Boom. Nice and easy. And I even had a little bit of delay because of the practice mod. Okay. This one here, I'm going to put myself in a position where I have to recover. Oh, well, I messed up. I'm trying here to put myself in a position where I have to recover by bonking on the wall. So here I wall jumped off the wrong wall, have to bonk into the wall in order to recover. Not the best example, but that's a possible save you can do if you ever don't have enough height in this trick. Boom. Very scuffed, but you can see I was far away from this cloud, so I gave myself a lot of leniency. So that's basically all of the trick. Once you're done with that, there's a few ways you can get up to the top here. You can do that to bonk your way up. Not the fastest thing in the world. What I tend to do in my runs is this, because it's pretty fast and safe. I think the fastest thing you can do here is that cap throw activates the cloud and you get the Sharane bounce and don't need a wall kick. So like that, you grab the moon that way. You can also, I think, do this if you want to avoid the Sharane bounce in general. But those are the general ways of getting to the top. So that's basically the whole sub area. I'll go over some faster ways you can do this ending part now. So if you're trying to get fancy, you can try to throw in a... Oh, I think I'm dead. Okay, you can try to throw in a Sharane bounce there. I don't do that. You know what? Let me just start off with consistency in what I do. Okay. This did not go as well as I thought it would. Okay, wait a second. Okay, we're at the top. Okay, we're at the top. We're at the top. Okay. So we've grabbed the moon. What I do, I just set up a simple long jump. I jump over here. I throw Cappy to activate the cloud when I'm on top of it like that. An annoying part of this sub area at the end is when you long jump off this, homing Cappy in on the correct cloud can be a little bit of a pain. So, instance of me going through the cloud with the bonk, but if you throw Cappy early, you have more of a chance of having it home in on the correct one, but it's also more risky because you could just miss the ending of this sub area, which obviously you don't want to have that happen. You don't want to go through all the work at the beginning to lose it all at the end. So, ways you can do this faster are by doing something like that with a roll cancel. I'm not entirely sure what BTT does, but to be honest, I don't really know this part of the sub area too well. You're going to have to get a little bit innovative and crazy with it. Lots of potential to save time. I'd recommend checking the BTT. So, last thing I want to do for this sub area is show off one more time how I do this all like fast and consistently, and hopefully I get this on the first try, but this puts everything together. So, double jump to go under at a good angle, throw Cappy late, throw Cappy into the wall jump at the right, and, oh, messed up the ending, but that's how you're supposed to do. Boom, nice and easy, works most of the time, very, very solid. Then the ending. Even ledge grabbing there might make it so it's just too slow to do in Darker. This is a very hard sub-area to do optimally. So let's do it one more time. First part down. I'm going to try doing this one with the dive. I'm going to long jump a little bit earlier. Nice and easy. Okay. One more for the road. Gonna long jump early off this platform. Yeah, I don't know. This ending's really hard to do fast consistently. But I think I'm going to call it there for the tutorial. I've shown off everything that I know. Unfortunately, the ending is left a little bit as an exercise to the viewer. I hate to say it. I'll do it one more time and give you some tips with how the clouds work. But after that, I'm going to call it for this video. It's already going way longer than I thought it would. Also note that I've been doing that middle section differently literally every single time. As long as you have a way that works for you that lets you land on Cappy, you'll be fine. But yeah, there it is. Alright, hopefully you found this informative. Please ask any questions in the comments. Please also ask me for any other things you'd like a tutorial for in the comments. I'm going to be gone on vacation for about a week, but I want to make more of these because I think they're helpful for both me and the viewers. I'd like to share my knowledge. Please let me know. And yeah. Oh, I promised a little extra segment of how these clouds work. So there's this little window where you can throw Cappy when you're right above them that will spawn the cloud above them. Be careful with this because if you're too early, you lose access to your cap throw and the cloud doesn't spawn. Homing mechanics are very, very weird. As you can see, the priority list is a little bit unclear for all four of those when they happen. Oh. So let's try this again. I'm going to throw it for a little bit further back. For some reason, it goes in the back one first. There it goes down, but it's hard to predict. So your best bet is you want to throw Cappy directly into them or directly on top of them. Directly on top of them is a little bit risky, but last thing I think I should note for this sub-area in particular, whoopsies. I guess we'll do it one more time for the road. And we'll do it with the death cycle, because that is also informative. Because you are bound to mess this up at some point. Oh, there's a mistake. So what happened there, I started holding in too early and hit the side of the lava wall. Cool. This is still informative. This is why I like doing tutorials live. It's a little bit more scuffed, but stuff will happen that I'll just forget to cover if I don't make these mistakes. So, anyway, that's how you're supposed to do it. Don't hold in too early after bouncing off Cappy, and then throw Cappy into the wall. You can save a little bit of time by not. Maybe that's how I should do it. But, the last thing I wanted to mention about the sub-area, I'm going to wait for this to despawn. Oh my god. Oh, I'm such a chungus. It's so hard to, like, actually set up the save states when I'm doing this thing. Okay, but... Okay, so... Let's say you missed the home in on this cloud here. Of course I get it. Okay, we're gonna up throw so this doesn't happen again. We're going to miss the home in on this lava thing. Okay. Oh no, I missed it. 1, 2, oh my god. Oh, lock in, BP, lock in. What I'm trying to say is that if you miss the home in on the cloud, you are still okay. So I missed it, oh no. I still made it to the end. So there's no need to panic. Just hold forward, assume you're gonna make it, and you'll probably be fine. Let me grab the moon and do it one last time to illustrate my point. I apologize for the scuffedness in this part of the recording. Okay. Oh no, I missed the home in. My point is not coming across, bro. Okay, either way, just hold forward. You're probably screwed anyway. Just try to get to the end. I'm so sorry. Okay. Thank you for watching. Try not to miss the home in on the last cloud. I never failed it. I was just trying to show what happens when you do. Try to home in and try to land on a flat surface. There you go. If you're completely screwed, you'll probably make it to the end because you get a lot of distance from a long jump and then dive. There we go. That's the tutorial. Thank you for watching. Comment other suggestions. Appreciate you all.